Welcome back to Sportsbook Review Videos. One of the marquee games in non-conference action on tonight is the Boston Celtics coming off the back-to-back to head into Golden State to play the Warriors here. In this one, the Warriors come in as a 12-point favorite, total of 221.5 to 222.5, depending on which sportsbook you're looking at. Now, Boston played last night in Portland, got beat by the Blazers 116-109, but they did have Jay Crowder making his return to the lineup. He wasn't expected to play in both games of this back-to-back set, but he played 35 minutes last night. Said after the game that he feels pretty good, feels optimistic that he could be able to play here in this one as Boston fighting for home court advantage here in the first round of the playoffs. I have to think that Crowder, if it's up to him, he is going to be able to play tonight in this very, very important game for both teams. Of course, the Warriors chasing history and their own number one seed, while Boston, as I said, trying to get one of those top four seeds in the Eastern Conference. But instead of betting on the spread here, which I think could be a pretty good deal if Crowder plays here, taking the points, I'm not really ready to take that risk, but I am ready to take the risk on the total here. 221.5 is an interesting line here as it's been dropping since it opened, but starting to tick back upward here to 222.5 at some books, but you can still get it at 221.5, and I like the over here in this one for several reasons. Main one being that the Celtics, even though they are 10-7, cashing the under on the second night of a back-to-back this season, not all back-to-backs are made the same. In fact, in their last four since the All-Star break, which is where back-to-backs really start to take their toll, Boston is 3-1 cashing the over, and they have given up a ton of points during that stretch, giving up more than 118 points per game during those last four back-to-back games, and scoring about 110 points per game during those last four back-to-backs as well. So still scoring the ball adequately well. Two very, very fast-paced teams coming into this one, while they're both very good on defense as well. I suspect we're going to see an up-tempo pace game here in this one. Boston also 5-3, cashing the over on the second night of a back-to-back on games where they play on the road on no rest, which I think is important to note here in this one because games where they play at home on no rest versus on the road are very much different, especially when Boston is a top two team in defensive rating when playing at home. Much different, though, on the road for this team here. Their first meeting this year, these two teams easily cashed the over, finished in a final score of 124-119. I think as long as Crowder plays in this one, which I think is very important, so make sure you double check that before you lock this one in. I think the over here at 221.5 could be a very good play. So that'll do it for me this time. Make sure you check out my other NBA pick today in my NBA Picks of the Day video as well. But until then, for Sportsbook Review, I'm Jordan Sharp.